One explosive statement has changed everything. Stop looking for Washington's biggest playmaker, because Jayden Daniels has already become the answer. And that's exactly why the Commanders are terrifying.
And the question is, which year does year 3 look like for Jayden Daniels? Year 1 or year 2? That's it. Year 1, is he the revelation at the position?
Year 1.
Is he the revelation at the position that we saw in his rookie season? Or is he a guy who is slight of body, who will get knocked around, who will take unnecessary shots potentially, and then doesn't answer the bell because he's hurt? No fault of his own, but is that what it is? Or is he the man? And we're going to say, and then the whole idea of who's the best playmaker on the team and where's the playmaking going to come from becomes that much more stupid. I don't know. And then, of course, all of it plays into Dan Quinn's future viability, which is, I did not choose to make it down. But you take a look at, at their defense. They added Odafe Owe, who is a really good football player. Leo Chanel from the Chiefs, that's a really good football player as well. Mikey Sanders still is a dynamite back-end guy and a leader of the team. Obviously I'm biased when it comes to him. But can they put together enough wins to get back in the mix? Or was that just a rocket ship season 1 for Jayden Daniels and Dan Quinn together that they're not going to be able to get back? All right. Third down are the new Commanders on both sides of the ball. New coordinators, everybody. David Blau on offense and Durante Jones on defense. Okay. What does this mean? What does it look like? How does it manifest? What's going on? That's big. I mean, they got 2 new coordinators. We're wondering who their massive playmaker is on offense. And we're wondering what's going to go on with their draft choice, who wasn't offensive. You went defensive there. So there's that. And then fourth down, maybe their best playmaker on offense is, in fact, the quarterback.
It's brought to you by the U.S. Army. Be tested, but not just on paper. Be strong and more than muscle. Be courageous and supported by a mighty team. Be all you can be. Visit gourmet.com to learn more. All right, so doing the most. Now we're going to talk about the most underrated player on the Commanders, and we're going to go by the fans, by the media, by the league. And I'm really excited to hear what you guys have to say about it. Let's start with the most underrated. Well, I'll give one here. Most underrated player from a fan's perspective.
Yeah. And really, it's almost the fans don't show him respect.
I think that's part of it,
it's
too.
It's kind of the Rodney Dangerfield award right here.
I think so. Yeah.
So are we going to all choose one and then we're going to say who?
No, one different player, all of us.
Okay.
I'll start it off.
Yeah, go for it.
I'm throwing it out because I feel like they won't put no respect on this man like Birdman say. Put some respect on this name. He a McCaffrey. You understand that?
Okay.
His daddy played football. His brother played football. His granddaddy played football. His great-granddaddy played football. And now Luther is here playing football and won't nobody put no respect on his name. Before Luther got hurt last year, he was headed to the Pro Bowl, Hawaii. Nobody was going to show him no love. Luther has to have.
Luke.
I call him Luther.
Okay, just making sure.
Luther needs the respect that he deserves. That's McCaffrey, baby. I'm looking for a big year from Luke McCaffrey.
I like that one.
I like that one, too. You're starting to see a little bit of that heading into year 3. So I like that quite a bit. So for me, player that the team is sleeping on, this is one, again, probably because of a down year last year. Yeah. I'm going to say Frankie Louvu. Because everyone's really excited about Leo Chanel.
All the new pieces.
Everyone's really excied about Sonny Style. We got Nick Cross. We got Caleb on Chason. And I just was like, I was watching 2024 film, just being a psycho. And I was like, this man
is a killer.
Yeah. And when you get him going downhill, aggressive towards the line of scrimmage, which if you're looking at Minnesota's defense,
that's all they do.
That's what that linebacker is going to do.
Yeah.
I think we could be talking about Frankie Louvu and the other linebacker spot, one of those two guys who are really good football players. So I think fans, for whatever reason, are sleeping on him right now. I think they forgot what that was. Like, again, sack production, blitzing, tackles for loss, emotional leadership. Like, it's all there.
Yeah.
So I just feel like people are forgetting about him a little bit.
Tasmanian devil.
Tasmanian devil. I like that. I'm gonna stay in that category or that area, that position, and I'm gonna go to linebacker too. And I'm gonna say Jordan McGee.
Okay, I like it.
I
When I
would
say
be one of your
Jordan
favorites.
McGee, I say you just spoke about how we got all these new pieces, and now he's the forgotten
Man,
one.
yeah.
And just a year ago, we was just like high hopes for Jordan McGee to get his feet wet and get going. And I think he showed flashes.
Yeah.
Last year, he really did show flashes. And for one thing, when you have the speed, when you have the I guess the physique, when you have the just I guess you can say the football IQ. You can play the game. It's going to eventually come together.
Yeah.
And he has all that.
Yeah.
And this is only, year 3 for Jordan McGee now? He's going into year 3. So I believe the game is going to slow down tremendously. And also with those added pieces, they're going to allow him to be able to not have to be pressured to be that guy.
Yeah.
And now you're going to see
Now I'm just gonna go play
you're going to see
football.
that diamond shine. You're
Yeah.
going to see that diamond come out of that rough. And now you're going to be able to see the true Jordan McGee. So I think for what we've all been expecting and waiting for, I just felt like it was too much for him at that time because we didn't have no one else. We was waiting on him to be that guy.
Yeah.
He don't have to be in a rush, but he does because it might not be a spot with so many guys that we have now.
Yeah.
But I think it's only going to up his want to and his will to go out there and perform.
Yeah, that linebacker room is going to be. I mean, talk
it's
about
that.
like just looking toward training camp.
One statement has changed everything in Washington. Stop searching for the Commanders' biggest playmaker because Jayden Daniels already is the answer. And that is exactly why the entire NFL is watching year 3.
Because the question is no longer whether Daniels has talent.
We already know the answer. The real question is, which version of Jayden Daniels are we going to see? The rookie sensation who looked like the future of the quarterback position? Or the young quarterback who plays with so much aggression that every incredible moment comes with a dangerous risk? Because that's the reality of Jayden Daniels. He can destroy defenses with his arm. He can escape impossible situations with his legs. But every time he takes off and challenges defenders, Washington holds its breath. Not because he lacks toughness, but because franchise quarterbacks cannot help their teams from the sideline. And that is what makes this season so important. Because if Daniels becomes the player many believe he can become, Washington doesn't just have a quarterback. They have the engine of a championship contender. But Jayden Daniels isn't the only reason Washington believes this team can return to contention. The biggest challenge now is building a roster strong enough to protect his rise. This season is also a major test for Dan Quinn. Because Washington's incredible turnaround was built around one explosive idea: find the quarterback. They found him. Now they must prove everything else can grow around him. The Commanders upgraded their defense with players who can completely change the identity of this unit. Odafe Owe brings explosive pass rushing ability. Leo Chenal arrives after developing into a powerful defensive presence with the Chiefs. And Mikey Sainristil continues to become one of the leaders in the secondary. But the biggest storyline might be the changes nobody can predict. Washington enters the season with new coordinators on both sides of the football. David Blau takes control of the offense. Durante Jones leads the defense. New systems, new philosophies, new pressure. Because sometimes a coaching change creates a breakthrough, and sometimes it destroys momentum. That is the mystery surrounding Washington right now. Can they build on their success? Or was their first season together with Daniels and Quinn simply a magical moment that cannot be repeated? And while everyone is focused on the superstar quarterback, there are several players on this roster who could completely surprise the NFL. The most underrated player on Washington? That depends on who you ask. Fans, media, or the league. Everyone has a different answer. One name that deserves far more attention is Luke McCaffrey. Yes, another McCaffrey. Football is in his blood. His father played. His brother became a star. His family has built a football legacy. But Luke still hasn't received the respect many believe he deserves. Before his injury last season, he was showing signs of becoming a major offensive contributor.
Year 3 could be the moment he finally breaks out. Then there is Frankie Louvu, the player many fans are forgetting. Everyone talks about the new additions, but when you watch the film, Louvu is chaos. His aggression, his ability to attack downhill, his blitzing, his leadership. He plays like a defensive weapon offenses cannot control. And finally, Jordan McGee, a player surrounded by expectations but still waiting for his breakthrough. The talent is obvious. The speed is there. The athletic ability is there. Now entering year 3, the game should begin slowing down. And with more talent around him, he finally has the chance to become the player Washington believed he could be. Because when you combine these hidden weapons with an elite quarterback, Washington suddenly becomes one of the most fascinating teams in football. Everything comes back to one name: Jayden Daniels. If he stays healthy, if the new coordinators maximize his ability, if this defense takes the next step, the Commanders have everything needed to become a serious NFC threat. But this season will reveal the truth. Was year 1 the beginning of a superstar? Or was it just a perfect moment that happened too soon? The NFL is full of quarterbacks with potential, but only a few become the players who change an entire franchise. Jayden Daniels now has that opportunity. Year 3 is not about proving he can surprise people anymore. It's about proving he belongs among football's elite. And Washington is about to find out if they found their franchise quarterback, or if the hardest chapter is still waiting. Because this season will not just define Jayden Daniels, it could define the future of the Washington Commanders.
Yo, mic check 1 to 2, -1, -2. Game over for this video, folks. Smash that like button, drop a comment, and subscribe to stay in the huddle for more. This is NFL Madness, bringing the heat and signing out.